Which of these is not a type of tooth? The food company founder Henry George. Which of these bands is not? Which of these cap? Which of these found in the human body? Which of these is? WON is the international. Which of these sports uses a ball? Which of these is not one? Which of these terms describe? Which of these climbing plants is? Which of these was not one? Which of these might you use to? Which of these acting? Which of these is a song from? Which of these was a US president? Which of these was founded by Mark Zuckerberg? Which of these is a figure adopted in? Which of these books did Steve? Which of these regimes lasted the longest? Jane Austen is remembered as which of the? Les Six was a group of Which of these is a slogan? What sort of feature? Which of these hobbyists would call their equipment? What word refers to a sink? Which of these kings was successful? What orchestral instrument? Which of these Chinese dish? The martial art of Kendo originated. What is the subject of the Statue of Liberty? What does the DC represent in DC Comics? Roughage is another word for what part of the diet? In 1870, which French emperor declared war on In 1870, in the musical Oliver asks who will buy what. Malia and Sasha are the daughters of which former president? What is the meaning of the word festoon? In science, radiant, chemical and thermal are types of what? A pylorus is a sighting device on what mode of transport? In music, which word means the opposite of sharp? Where would you be most likely to see and use a foam roller? What was Steve McQueen's final film? How many different vowels are there in the word saucepan? What is the medical term for indigestion? Who would commonly use the term double entry in their job? What was the original name of the game Twister? TV detective Kojak sucked lollies to stop him doing what? What completes the saying close but no? London's Shaftesbury Avenue is most famous for what? Cephalometry is the measurement and study of what? Emus and Aoife are characters in what mythology? Modern ice hockey originated in what Commonwealth country? If you are performing your ablutions, what are you doing? If you are performing your ablutions. In Puccini's Labo M. Rodolfo is a penniless what? Which animated film used the tagline escape or die frying? Who did the US Navy defeat in the 1942 battle? The Cree are an indigenous people in what country? The Cree are an indigenous people in... What did Adolf Fick invent in 1887?